particular picture of Prince Harry was caught out on a doorbell camera, everybody was kind of stunned, you know. I mean, this was the period that he was back in London for the security court case thing that he failed miserably to win. And even though he was told by various people, including his own legal team at points, he pressed ahead. And as I pointed out in a previous video, this is now going to become a rather expensive addition for the British taxpayer. But, you know, what does it matter? He's over in Montecito. And of course, he just wanted that security for him and his family. If you remember, he sat down with the BBC and said he couldn't foresee a day when he could bring his wife and children back over to England. And that was very sad. As ever with Harry and Meghan, though, there's always a sketchy story behind the scenes. As ever, let me explain. Morning, how are you? Nice to see you. Look at this beautiful view here. This, of course, is Parliament. I've been very busy in Parliament today. They've had lots of debates on. Had to cover quite a few. You can imagine what that's like. Not all of them are brilliant, let me tell you. But I'm sure it's like that in your world as well, isn't it, with the Parliament stories? Because you come away and thinking, right, okay, you know, where's the juicy stuff? I don't mean in that, I think, you know, some of the stuff you kind of think, couldn't this be debated in a more singular thing? And is it this a good waste of time, you know, people, with all the top people there, shouldn't we be dealing with the bigger problems? Do you know the sort of things I'm saying? Like the Pakistani minister who wants an airport built in Pakistan, even though he's meant to be an MP for Birmingham. You get the picture. Let's just move on, shall we? It's a little bit like, of course, Prince Harry, who very famously, as I say, got caught out on that door cam. And, you know, it will be one of those iconic images that defines Harry, whatever people say, simply because there he is, just caught out, you know. Now, the reason behind this was everybody said he was looking for a friend and all of that sort of stuff. And in principle, he was, right? There's no two ways about that. But there's a bigger story attached to that, and this is where it gets interesting. You know, there's recent pictures we've seen with Harry and Meghan out at Disney, and a lot of people are saying that, of course, you know, she seemingly favours the daughter. I couldn't possibly comment, it's up to them what they want to do, but I did think that very particular lonely picture of Prince Archie on his birthday was very sad. You know, you kind of think, well, where are the chums? Seemingly they've taken note of that now. We've got endless pictures of Princess Lil's birthday, right? And you kind of think, well, what happened to Archie's cake? What happened to Archie's big event? Maybe it was always just going to be a dual event, who knows? Here's where this gets more interesting, though. According to a very well-placed source, Harry, you see, really was looking for somewhere to come and stay very quietly over here in the summer. Yes, this summer over here in London. And ideally wants to make this very much an undercover private visit. The reason why, and as ever I have to say allegedly, why he doesn't want to stay in the usual haunts that he has, is because he fears that he will be outed by, you know, media coming in and out of doors, somebody tipping him off. And the idea was to reconnect with an old chum, apparently one that's very discreet, had a good friendship with, so that they could go and stay with them and people would never suspect that they were just living down this street. Hence, they could go back and forth. Well, this is a bit contradictory, isn't it? Because, of course, he said he didn't feel safe bringing his children back. But according to that source, who still works with them from time to time, the bottom line is Harry is really, really homesick. To the point, you know, where it becomes quite difficult, as one can imagine. If you've settled in somewhere and you like the lifestyle, but then you still anchor after the life that you've had, it is hard. Now, obviously, clearly, in my opinion, what he's trying to do is wanting to show his children, you know, his son, some at least of his home country. Meghan has been ill, couldn't care less, doesn't even want to come back to the United Kingdom for whatever she claims, right? So the bigger picture now for Harry is, if he couldn't find his chum through the door cam, where's he going to go next? According to the source, he's not giving up and still wants to spend at least some quality time over here back in the United Kingdom. Now, what do you think to that, really? I mean, it's a bit strange, but then when you think about it also, everything that Harry and Meghan do is contradictory. And I think what you could see from that BBC interview was a man that, whichever way you placed it, was very unhappy and very sad indeed. He might claim his heart is in Montecito, but really his soul and the rest of his life still remains back here in the United Kingdom. It's a developing story. When I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean, Parliament, London.